Lots of video game news, and stores begin to fill up in anticipation of the holidays. It's Tuesday, October 19th, and you'll hear about those stories and more this week in Star Wars. This Week in Star Wars is your source for new and noteworthy developments from the galaxy far, far away. I'm your host, Matt Fox. And now, this week's lead stories. While the Star Wars world awaits next week's release of Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2, other video game news came to the front this week. Examiner.com, the official website of the San Francisco Examiner, reported this week on an internet advertisement that appeared on a number of sites. The photo is an alleged promotion for the Sony Move system, which allows the Sony PlayStation 3 to follow a user's movements, not unlike the Xbox 360's Kinect system, which was announced earlier this year. But whereas the Kinect system will not be out until later in 2010, the Sony Move is in stores presently. Also, unlike the Kinect, there has been no announcement of a Star Wars title, which would allow owners of the Sony system to enjoy the same benefits that Kinect users will apparently enjoy from the outset. Well, if the advertisement that has surfaced this week is legitimate, that may all be about to change. Continuing in the ongoing Sony advertising theme for the PlayStation that it only does whatever, this ad shows a lightsaber below the words, "It only does lightsabers." The ad's bottom taglines say, "Unleashed 2011 in a galaxy near you." While the implications of this ad are obvious if it is true, there has been no official comment or announcement as of yet from LucasArts or Sony. One bit of gaming news this week that was officially announced is that a number of former LucasArts employees, including Hayden Blackman, who designed a number of Star Wars titles, including The Force Unleashed and The Force Unleashed 2, have opened a new video game design studio entitled Fearless Games. Based close to the Skywalker Ranch in Marin County, California, there is at this time no announcement or reason to believe that Fearless will be involved in Star Wars game design. They are accepting job applications, though, so go check out fearlessstudios.com for more information. In collecting news this week, the Target exclusives, which were discussed on last week's episode, did hit sporadically on October 18th as expected. In addition, Walmart's exclusive items, including a Kit Fisto Starfighter, as well as 3 DVD Clone Wars 2-packs, have begun surfacing across the country, as well as the return of the Jabba the Hutt playset, which had appeared in a very limited manner in August, but now appears to be readily available in a number of locations. Not to be left out, Toys R Us has been the place to go to find the latest in the vehicle assortment, including the new Hyena Bomber as well as the Clone Swamp Speeder. eToys.com, the one-time darling of the IPO set in the late 90s, which has since been through 2 bankruptcies and is now a front for Toys R Us, has the 2008 Big Millennium Falcon in stock and on sale for the very attractive price of $111.98 with free shipping. While not as cheap as some of the sales available a couple of years back, it is nonetheless well below the original suggested retail price for an item that is very difficult, if not impossible, to come across on the shelves these days. For those of you interested in the high-end collectibles, EFX Collectibles this week made available for pre-order the TIE Fighter prop replica, announced quite some time ago and finally shown in a near-finished state at Celebration 5. This piece will be selling for a price of $999 on the EFX website. The pre-order period will run through November 7th, at which point those who have pre-ordered will get one, and those who have not pre-ordered will not. Additionally, under no circumstances, it seems, will there be more than 1,000 of these sold. So, if you're a fan of the Twin Ion engine, and you have the means, I suggest you head to EFXcollectibles.com for more details. At the other end of the collecting spectrum, Topps has released the trading cards for Season 2 of the Clone Wars. $2 a pack is the suggested retail price, and the cards have been spotted at both Toys R Us and Target. Video news this week. While we have known for some time that the third and supposedly final Family Guy Star Wars parody, It's a Trap, send-up of Episode 6, The Return of the Jedi, would be available on DVD and Blu-ray on December 21st, we have now been told that a box set of all 3 parodies will also be available on that day in Blu-ray format. What makes this noteworthy is that it will be the first time the original episode, Blue Harvest, will be available for sale in the high-def format. At present, Amazon.com is selling the 3-disc box set for only $6 more than It's a Trap by itself, which may make the decision something of a no-brainer. Finally this week, The Clone Wars returns on Friday night with a new episode entitled Assassin, which will feature the return of Aurra Sing, supposedly dead since the end of Season 2. The plot synopsis on StarWars.com also indicates that some of the action will take place on Alderaan. So check your local listings and get that TiVo set up. As the producers continue to give us a tour of original trilogy, planets and settings in an animated style. So, yeah, that's it. That's all the news there is. I even held the podcast off for 2 days, hoping there'd be a little more, and there wasn't. Now, I don't think anyone can be surprised in this post-Celebration 5 world that there isn't a lot of news, but over the coming months there will certainly be a number of store reports and new products as we do get closer to those holidays, and there will be plenty of news post-Force Unleashed too. So, how do we here at This Week in Star Wars react to this lull in the Star Wars news cycle? Do we whittle down the runtime to 2 minutes an episode? Do we become This Fortnight in Star Wars? No, we find new ways to bring the news to you. That's right, we've finally figured out how to open up a Twitter account. So, if you're one of those people who like to get their news in little bursts of characters, follow us at TWISWcast on Twitter. I don't know how often we'll be tweeting, but when we do, it will probably be big news, weird stories, and some store reports. And that was This Week in Star Wars. Join us again next week for more news, notes, and developments from the galaxy far, far away. Visit us at www.thisweekinstarwars.com or www.twisw.com for more information about the program, links to some of the stories we discussed on today's show, as well as past episodes. You can follow us on Twitter and post comments on our Facebook page. We also welcome your comments, suggestions, and questions via email at host@thisweekinstarwars.com. You've been listening to This Week in Star Wars. We troll the web so you don't have to.
This Week in Star Wars is not affiliated with Lucasfilm, its subsidiaries, or any other entity mentioned in this podcast. Star Wars, its characters, and creations are the property of Lucasfilm. All other trademarks are property of their respective trademark owners. This Week in Star Wars is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. This podcast is copyright 2010 This Week in Star Wars. Invaluable technical assistance provided by Webstorm Interactive. News, comments, and questions can be directed to host at thisweekinstarwars.com. More information, links to stories presented, past episodes, and additional contact information are available at www.thisweekinstarwars.com.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.